The one story I want to talk about is I think your second or third year, so you're probably still young, 28 years old. Billy Martin gets in your face and actually throws dirt onto you.
Yeah, that was the last time Billy Martin was ever ejected. It was by me. It was Memorial Day, 1988 in Oakland. He was with the Yankees. This was obviously Memorial Day was Monday. It was Monday Night Baseball. ABC used to have Monday Night Baseball, just like they had Monday Night Football. And so it was a 5:00 start in Oakland. And they, of course, watered down the infield to keep the dust down or whatever. And so this was in the bottom of the third. Walt Weiss was the hitter for Oakland, very first hitter of the inning. He hit a line drive, low line drive to Bobby Meacham at second base. I was the first base umpire. And there was a question if he short hopped it or if he caught the ball. And Rick Reed was the umpire at second base. And from my angle, it looked like he short hopped. It was very close. He could have gone either way. Rick calls no catch. Meacham, even if we were wrong, if he just glanced up and saw no catch, he could throw Weiss out by 30 feet. I mean, there's really, he's out easy. It's not going to be a close play at first, but Meacham just, assumed he caught the ball and just started throwing around the horn. So Weiss, is at first, and here we go. They're, yelling at Rick. And so here comes Billy out of the first base dugout, and he comes right by me and he said, "You saw him catch the ball." And I said, "No, Billy, I got him trapping it." And so he runs off and he's talking with Rick, and Rich Garcia was the crew chief. He was at home plate, and John Hirschbeck was at third base. And this was my third year. I was 28, and Billy Martin, like a lot of managers, they will have a tendency to pick on the younger guy on the crew. I used to hate that as a young guy, and as an older guy, I loved it. That's neither here nor there. So they're arguing, and I kind of am just drifting over there. And so all of a sudden he turns to me and he said, "You saw him catch them?" I said, "No, Billy, he trapped it." And he said, "Well, you're full of blankety blankety blank." And so I ejected him. He personalized it, and I ran him. So he immediately started to try to kick some dirt on me. And this was the bottom of the third. It had been a quick game up to then. The dirt's still damp, and so he can't get a good kick going. He's kicking and he can't get some dirt going. So finally, he just bends down and picks it up and just does a chest pass right into my chest. My parents were in the stands. They had come to the game. I got them tickets and a whole bit, and my mom was horrified. She was trying to figure out why the hell I didn't go into insurance or something. And Martin was suspended after that. That game ended up going like 14 innings. And apparently, after he was ejected, Billy went back to the clubhouse. He had a couple adult beverages in there for a couple innings, and then I guess one of the attendants said, "Well, Billy, let's just take you home," because it was about this game went on forever. And Tommy John, it was a funny thing that the next day, Tommy John comes into our locker room before the game. He was pitching for the Yankees. He wasn't pitching that day, but Tommy usually came by about once a series just to say hello, and a real nice guy. And I'm sure probably looking for a few pitches. But that's neither here nor there. Trevor, as a hitter, is going, "Well, wait, he did what now?"
Yeah, hold on.
He looked at me. He goes, "Boy, you really pissed Billy off last night." Me, I wasn't even my call, for God's sake. He came back and managed after the suspension for, I don't know, a few weeks, and then Steinbrenner fired him, and he never managed again after that. So I was the last umpire to eject Billy Martin.
Did he ever reach out? Is there any conversations?
Later on, I don't remember how close it was after this Oakland incident in Oakland, but our crew was going to New York, and I got a call from the league offices. Say, "Hey, Dale, we're going to switch some guys up, and instead of going to New York with Garcia, we want you to go to Detroit or wherever the heck I was going to switch with somebody else." I said, "Okay," and that happens, and I really didn't think much about it. Well, we found out later in the season. You got to remember this 1988. This is we didn't have email and all this stuff. Somebody actually wrote a letter to the American League office saying if Dale Scott ever comes to New York, he's leaving in a body bag. Because of, and I didn't know about this. The league got this letter. It was because I threw out Billy Martin, and so they had switched me from my next New York trip. Unbeknownst to me, that's why they switched me. They told me later on that was the reason. Which, you take it with a grain of salt, but it was still, you think about it a little bit.
I think it was Billy writing the letter with his left hand.
Well, very well could have been.
That's crazy.